I wanted to take advantage of some of the technology that's available to us to share some of the accomplishments and some of the different projects that we're working on to bring P.L.A.Y. into the community and to promote the P.L.A.Y. organization. What's really important and what I want you to realize in this YouTube video is that we're working against a system here in our city that has been in place for a long time, and so it takes time to be able to set up meetings. It takes time to be able to talk and get to the right people that make decisions in our community. Now, one of the things that I want to explain to you is that each and every day I spend my full-time effort meeting with people, these key individuals in the city, in the county, through universities, through some of the school districts, and I also meet with individuals to strengthen our partnerships so we can utilize resources inside of those partnerships. On June 16th, the Mayor, Ann Johnson, invited me to her office. Robert Reinhardt and myself put together a proposal. She absolutely loves the accomplishments that P.L.A.Y. has done over the last 2 years. Now, we've done 32 community events over the last 2 years, and we've done some very, very major events like the Symphony collaboration, the Asparagus Festival, and our Multicultural Festival. She simply loved them. Through the meeting with Mayor Ann Johnson, we talked about facilities and how the facilities here in town are really kind of the dam that doesn't allow the flow of artistic creativity and events to really take place. So we asked her to set up a meeting with Pam Sloan and Dino Leonardi. Now, these meetings were really brainstorming opportunities for us to understand what some of the limitations were of the city and what some of the limitations that we were facing. So in our second meeting, we came up with a proposal to do a pilot program. The pilot program would be to utilize the community centers. Now, let me just tell you this. Instead of us doing multicultural festivals at specific places, let's just say Weber Point Event Center, what we want to do is we want to take our groups and we really want to go out into the community. We really want to do community development and community outreach. So that's why we developed the idea of going into community centers. Currently, community centers are really not utilized the way that they were meant to be. So we wanted to do a proposal and a pilot program which would look like this. At the Pinella Park, where the Arnold Rural Community Center is located, we would do a festival. And in that festival, we'd have booths that are set up so the different organizations that are participating with us could show the educational side, could show the different traditions and cultures through either videos or through their items that they would bring to educate the community. This would be a free event that the city would sponsor, so there would be no charge to the public. During that festival, we would go into the Arnold Rural Community Center and we would do a multicultural production, basically like Spirit of the Dance. And in that production, we would be able to charge. Right now we're looking at maybe $5 a person. So what this pilot program does is it allows our artists to set up their wares and sell things. That way you can make money for your organization. Now the city has a general rule that they take 10% off. And that's okay. We want the city to be profitable at the same time. So you make money for your groups, the city makes money, and then P.L.A.Y. makes money through the production at the Arnold Rural Center. So that way we can start to create income to do more events throughout the city. What's very important for us to understand is that P.L.A.Y. started out as groups of people that did traditional dance. And that's really the vehicle that we're using to bring people together. That once we're together, we want people to start stimulating conversations and open communication. We want people to be curious. We want people to ask questions. Because the bottom line result here is that we want people to recognize that through our cultures and within our cultures, we really are more the same than we are different. when we open up the communication, all these wonderful things can start to happen. That is true community building when we start to stimulate the one-on-one understanding of each other's culture. I'll give you an example of that. The Mexicans call their bread tortillas. The Native American Indians call their bread fry bread. It's the same thing. The Greeks call it pita. It's just a tortilla that's folded. And then the Indians call it noun. And it's the same thing. So just in the breads alone, we're very similar. In some of the different foods that we eat, like the rice, Mexicans take and put tomato sauce and a bouillon, and they call it Spanish rice. Southeast Asians, they steam their rice. So, you know, through these different foods, we learn that we are really the same, because somewhere in time we were together, and now we're separated. So we want play to be an instrument to really show that unity together. Now, all these things that I've just explained to you are beautiful things, and we're making headway. We're making inroads into these different arts communities that have never been done before. If all this effort takes place and I don't have your cooperation, and you don't see that bigger picture, that vision of that play is really powerful when we all come together, when all the cultures start working together. If you don't see that, then our efforts will not be able to flourish, because it takes you. You are the one, and your artistic expression, your culture, is what I work towards every day to show this community the beautiful, vibrant diversity that is expressed in your cultural celebration. So I want you to really think about that, and I want you to recognize, and I want you to understand that these doors can come open, and they are coming open right now through the University of the Pacific, through Stockton Unified, through the library, through the city, and even at the county level. Those doors are starting to open up. But if you don't come through those doors and you don't understand the vision, those doors are just going to remain open, and we will not pass through them. What it's going to take you to recognize that play is not just people coming together to do dancing. Play is the artistic expression that brings people together. It's the excuse for us to come together, and that's what really stimulates community building. You know, I spoke with Dina Heath here, who is used to be the director of the Arts Commission, and she's no longer employed with the city. And what was important to understand is she explained to me, I asked her a question, what do we really need to do? And her answer was very, very simple. She says, you and your groups need to be self-sufficient, because there is no money in the city. There is no money in the county. The only money that's available for us to flourish is through the Arts Commission. They call it an endowment. It's $1.3 million, and the interest off of that money each year is what they give out to arts organizations. Last year, the Stockton Unified School District received $13,000. That was the biggest grant award in the history of the Stockton Arts Commission. This year, the biggest award was given at $7,000. I hear the excuse all the time, Robert, there is no money, there is no money, there is no money. And I believe that that's true. But Stockton has never really flourished as an arts community, and it's because the people have never come together. The people have never really come together and taken that responsibility. Let's take that responsibility together. Let's do something here that's going to change this community. You and I can do this, and play is a vehicle that'll take us there. I'm looking to hear from you. Please call me. My phone's on all the time. Email me, send me a text message. I want to hear from you.
This has been a JD production.